My name's Abe, and this is my album overview. So, going in the order of how the tracks are placed on the album, High, track 1, is the color pearl, aka white, and the song basically talks about, it's got a lot of drug and alcohol references, but really it's not really about the whole drug alcohol concept. It's more along the concept of I'm with my best friends and we're just having a blast doing whatever we do as long as we're together. And it references places in verse 2 along with a few other things, but the reason why it's white, I couldn't tell you. There is no explanation to it. I just, whenever I remember that scene, it's just white. So I chose Pearl, and that's High. Track 2 on the album is My Life, and that's Rose. This was a track that I wasn't planning on putting on the album. I was actually planning on saving it as a single for after the album. And I put it on only because I have a really close friend of mine that I've grown up with all my life. And he actually told me, dude, this is like a really good song. I really like this song. I think it deserves to go on the album. And knowing him, I took his word for it. I finished it up and I threw it on. The song itself is talking about the one person in your life that you just cannot live without. Usually it's a significant other times it's just that one really close best friend. And you can take the song in either direction. But for me, I wrote it based off of a significant other of mine that is from this point a past to me now. And to some people, a lot of people actually, really enjoy the song, so I'm really grateful that I was able to have a friend like that and really point out to me that it actually deserved to go on. But as for why it's Rose, I couldn't tell you. Again, a lot of these, it just so happens that they just have a color and it sticks to them, and there's no reason behind the color, they just stick. The color pink just really stuck to me when it came to this person, and they didn't even like the color pink was the funny part, but yet Rose was the chosen color for that memory of mine. Track 3, Restart. So this song is based off of doing something in your life that you wish that you could redo, that you could basically press the restart button in a video game, where you know that you messed up and you're not going to be able to move on without trying again. So you're gonna click pause, you're gonna hit that restart button, and you're gonna respawn back to the beginning of the video game, right? Basically, that's what the song is about. Not about the video game, but about wanting to do that in your life, based off of decisions that you have done in your life that you wish you could go back in time and just hit that restart button and fix. Song is specifically about a person, another past significant other of mine again, and I am able to understand the mistakes that I've made since, which is the cause of me creating this song, Restart. It is the color cherry, which is red, and I think red really stuck to it because red I always resembled as the color of love, which is pretty straightforward, and it's also very cliche, but at the same time it's just it made sense along with, I didn't really choose it, the color chose the memory. And so Cherry, restart. So track 4 is called Yeah, which is fire, color orange. And this song in particular isn't about anybody, actually. It's about me traveling. I love traveling, and I used to do it a lot when I was involved in an old sport that I used to do. But when I would travel, I would always keep going to the gym. I have a a US wide LA Fitness membership. And I would always go to the gym all the time. And when I'm traveling, I would still go. And whenever I would go to a gym that wasn't my hometown, it just felt different. Maybe it was because I was in a different city, different state, or maybe because like the whole gym was built differently. But at the same time, I just felt like I was somewhere new, but at the same time I wasn't. And whenever I was at the gym in other locations that wasn't like my hometown, I would always listen to like an EDM type music, or just like music that didn't have lyrics. And so every memory that I remember going to an LA Fitness out of town, or back when I didn't have an LA Fitness membership, I had like a lifetime membership, or World Gym. I'd always listen to that type of music, and whenever I think of those memories, the color orange stands out. For whatever reason, beats me. But that was the reason why Yeah has only one lyric at the very end. So Yeah, fire, orange. Track 5 is La Mariposa, and I released this as a single before I released Colors back in October. This song was a song that I was really contemplating if I wanted to release it back in October. Reason B is because when I finished the song, part of me was like, you should really release it. It's a really good song. I think people would actually enjoy it. And then another part of me was under the impression of, you should wait until the summertime. This is like a summertime song. It's not meant to be listened to in the winter. Winter time is like very, very slow, very meaningful. Summertime is very upbeat, joyful, no thinking. But I felt like it needed to be heard for people to be able to access it and listen to it, and I hadn't released anything in a little while, so I released it. And that song is the color gold, which is yellow. The song is about, for personal reasons, I had an old crush that I had when I was very little, probably around the age of 7, 8, 9, around that time. And I had a crush on this person, and at the time, I wasn't aware that they had a crush on me as well. And so because I didn't really notice it, and I never pushed towards doing anything because I was a kid, we just stayed as each other's crushes until we didn't see each other anymore. Now, 9-10 years pass by, and I see them again at a coffee shop, at a completely random scenario. We hadn't talked for the past 9-10 years, and what was funny about it was when we sat down and started to catch up, those kids' crush feelings came back to me and her too. She did not clarify it, but being able to grow and know how people act now, I was able to notice it, and it was really it was really interesting because part of me wanted to come out and say, hey, we had these feelings for each other as a kid, and I'm kind of starting to get them again. And back then we were kids and we didn't know what those feelings were. Now we have the knowledge of what they mean. Do you want to try and put the meaning into effect? And so I was on the verge of going for it, of asking her if she wanted to try this out. But another part of me had the feeling of, you had just seen each other after a 9-10 year break. It's not smart to rush into something based off of the feelings that you had when you were a kid. And so instead of trying to rush into something that you're definitely not ready for, just sit there, catch up, and continue having those butterflies that you have in your stomach. Because you would rather feel good having those butterflies than get denied by the girl that you had a crush on when you were a kid. And that's why the song is called La Mariposa, Butterflies. Or the butterfly, sorry. And color gold, I think it was the color gold because she was like my first crush that I ever had, that actually meant something, and I guess because of that, it had like a golden feeling to me, like there was nothing wrong with her. She was like golden perfection, which I guess is why the color yellow gold really stood out. So, Mariposa. Track 7. I skipped track 6 because that's the interlude, kind of explaining in a minute's term what my album's about. But track 7 is called Down, and that's emerald green. Down was the second song that I wrote for the album, first one being La Mariposa. This song means a lot to me, mainly because this song was about one of the relationships that I've previously had that really meant the most to me, that really made me feel like I was loved, I guess you could say, in a relationship. And yet it's called Down because the relationship was going so well. We both had the same feelings for each other. And then suddenly she didn't want to be together anymore, with no knowledge on my end that this was coming or that she even felt that way at all. We'd been together for a while and it was just very sudden and very unexpected. So that's why in the chorus, the main word in the chorus is down, but to me, the main words in the chorus is I don't know how, because I don't know how we got to this place, but yet we're falling down, 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 down. And there's nothing that I can do about it because it's too late now. Color green stands out, and I know why, because we had both used that little green emoji heart all the time. And so whenever I think of her, the color green always stands out for that reason. And that is Down Emerald. Track 7, Lonely, Topaz. This track has also a drug reference to it. And also, it's the same as track 1. It's not really about the whole drug reference. It is about the feeling of loneliness. Everybody has had a moment in their life where they have just felt lonely, whether it was a major loneliness or just a minor loneliness. Everybody has felt loneliness at least once. So there was a time in my life where I had a major loss of people, not in death, but in friendships. And I was at the point where I only had one or two people that I could really talk to, mainly because I was transferring schools and moving places, and I wasn't able to keep the connections that I had had for so long. And so I just felt very lonely. I felt very just not where I usually am. I felt like there was a lot of jealousy coming out of me, because my friends that I had talked to would hang out with each other and I wouldn't be able to anymore. And it was just a really dark place, probably the darkest place that I've been in my life. Being stuck with your own thoughts and the music that you would end up listening to, in my case. So it's the color Topaz, which is blue, because I think mainly because loneliness to me is very sad, and sadness is just the color blue to me. And so whenever I think of that moment where I was just at my lowest state of mind, I would always end up seeing that color blue. And that is the reason for Topaz. Track 9, Tell Me How, Violet. Tell Me How was based off of a moment or a series of moments where people in my life would try and convince me of what I should and shouldn't be doing that weren't my family, that weren't my father or my mom or any family at all. It would just be people, other people that I could care less about, pretty much. And they would try and tell me how to live my life, how to do this, what I should be doing now, where I should be going. And the song mumbles and jumbles about going out and having a good time with this girl in the beginning of the song, but it's not about that, and it's not about the second verse either. It's about the pre-chorus and the chorus, where nobody's gonna tell me how to live my own life. If I want to live it on a stage and have a crowd yelling and yelling the lyrics, then I'm gonna do that. If I want to go and work as a lawyer, I'm gonna go do that. If I'm gonna go be a lifeguard, I'm gonna go be a lifeguard. The point is, nobody is gonna tell me how to live my life. And as much as they can try and try and try, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna take my final bow. And I'm just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I get somewhere. It's simple as that. And it's colored violet because there was one specific person that really got me to start thinking this way. And that person specifically always wore the color purple, which is the reasoning why I always see the color purple when I think of them, and whenever I think of people trying to tell me what to do with my life. And so that is Tell Me How, Violet. Track 10, the final track, I Fear God Spade, featuring JV. This song is very, very different compared to the other 8 songs that are on this album. This song is not my story. I just want to make that super clear ahead of time. I had written the lyrics, but this is not my story. Both me and JV, we both have a very close friend of ours who had this song happen to him. And so he explained what this song to us, not as a song, but as his story. And I had asked him, would you mind if I use this song or use this story as a song? I feel like people could really touch base with this. Maybe not exactly, but they could really feel what you're feeling. He allowed me to, and he allowed JV to accompany me with the song. And the song starts out with me in the beginning saying it's 1 in the afternoon and I walk into the front door. I am playing our friend's part. I am being the friend that told us the story. When JV comes in halfway through the song, he says it's 11 in the morning. JV is playing the father of me in the song, the father of our friend. And the song is basically about our friend's father having a really bad addiction to alcohol, drug use, and he is upset, he's angry, he's frustrated that his dad is who he is, and he wishes that he could do something to help him, but no matter how hard he tries, no matter how many times they talk about it, he isn't changing. And one day he may end up just being on the ground, and there's nothing that you can do about it anymore. Now, the only thing that's very confusing with the song is at the very end of the song, there is, some people think it's a heart rate monitor, but it's actually an alarm clock. And it's the breathing with the alarm clock is our friend waking up. The whole song, in perspective, was a dream to him. He explained to us an entire dream that he had in the exact order that he explained it, that we explained it in the song. He explained how he felt, and then he explained how his dad was talking to him in the dream, saying this is why this, and this. And then he wakes up to his alarm clock, heavily breathing from this nightmare of a dream. Which is why we caught so much attention to the song, me specifically, because I thought so many people have these hard feelings that they want to talk about, but they can't talk about because it's very hard for people nowadays to trust other people unless you're like, you grew up with them since you were born. And I feel like this song specifically, it gives people the opportunity to go to those people that they can really trust and just talk to them and be able to trust them to keep what they're talking to them about that's so private and so necessary to talk about to themselves. Because sometimes people just need somebody else to talk through their emotions, to talk through their problems with. Because it's not always healthy bottling it up. It's not always healthy just pretending it didn't happen. And at some point, if you do either of those things, it will end up turning back around and hitting you in the back of your head. And there's nothing that you can do anymore at that point. You just have to feel those feelings out until it's over. So, it is the color spade, which is black, because this is such a dark topic and such a dark song, and it's got so much meaning to it that JV and I both thought that black would be the most appropriate color because of the way the song is written and what the song is about. So that is I Fear God Spade. If you watched until the end, I'd like to thank you for being interested in my new album, Colors. If you haven't already, go check it out on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, it's there. I really hope you enjoy the album if you haven't listened to it. If you have listened to it, I am very happy that you had taken the time out of your day to listen to my music. It means the world to me that people are listening to what I have to say, and all I can say is thank you. If you are interested in the eBay merch that I am wearing now, I will put my Instagram right here. If you DM me on Instagram, you may be able to purchase a eBay sweatshirt like this one. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a awesome rest of your day.
Estés a mi lado sin nada en mi mente excepto tu y cierro nocturno cuando sonríes brillas más que la luz de la luna. A veces me pregunto si te amo muy fortuna.